haven't got your thoughts on Trent leaving. There's been so much talk about Trent and going, and it wasn't the biggest shock in the world because he hadn't signed that contract, and the chitter-chatter had gone quiet actually since January when Real Madrid, we believe, made an offer or approached Liverpool. Liverpool said, get away, we're going to try and convince him to stay. That's what it felt like. But when you hear the news, it's still quite, he's going, isn't it? It's still one of those moments, even fans of not Liverpool, it's still one of those, oh my God, he is going to Real Madrid now.
Yeah, it's a massive shock because you look at any team, you look at their star players, and if they leave, it's a big, oh my God, they're losing X, Y, Z.
For free, though, that's the wonder, isn't it?
Yeah, but at the same time, Liverpool have never paid a fee for him.
No, they didn't, that's true.
You know, they've got him free, he's came through the academy, so it's not like they've spent 70, 80 million, and then, 4 or 5 years later, he's leaving on a free. So you've got that to consider as well. And I think the hierarchy of weighed up all three players, and I don't know if they thought, who can we let? Who's going to hurt us more by going?
In terms of what?
In terms of who's more valuable to the team, Van Dijk, Salah, or Trent. There are three great, fantastic players. Yeah. But could Liverpool still be as strong with Trent not playing? Could they be stronger with no Van Dijk? Could Liverpool still be strong with no Salah? If you look at the three players, I would probably say, well, if you get a good right back, a decent right back, Bradley, yes, he may not give you what Trent gives you going forward. Yeah. But he still likes to get forward. You still see him get in the box. You still see him.
An able replacement.
Yeah. And some would say that he's a better defender than Trent. Yeah. So I'm thinking Liverpool have looked at that and go, well, who have we got if we let Virgil go? Who's going to step in for him?
So here's the thing. So if you're talking about this on the pitch, right? Yeah. You're talking about in the dressing room on the pitch, right? Yeah. I think there's definitely something in that from a business point of view. Because there is Trent's residual value. If Trent had, let's say all three of those players had 2 years left on their contract, they all have a monetary value to that particular team. Yep. And the monetary, because their ages, as I've said there, Trent is 25, I think, 26.
27,
27. What is he? I'm looking at my producer. 27, okay, right. 27. So he's still got that level. He's got 4 to 5 years left at being peak powers, right? Yeah. Salah is going to be 33 in June. Van Dijk, I think, is 32 as well, or they're 33. So in terms of monetary value, financially, what that asset is worth, he's the biggest loss. Yeah. So for the club to have allowed this to happen, that is going to hurt the club in a different way. Liverpool will be in next year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years' time. Players have left. McManaman's left. We've seen this before. But I just wonder how financially, because the way the game's going, whether they've dropped the ball. It feels like Liverpool have dropped the ball on this one.
I think they have, but I don't think Trent obviously was not giving anything away. I don't think that Liverpool at any stage maybe believed that he was going to be off to Real Madrid. Letting it get to this point in his contract, this length, knowing that he could go on a free, I genuinely believe they must have thought, we're going to be able to strike a deal. We're going to be able to strike a deal. He's a local boy. He loves the club. He's not going to want to leave. And like you said, they've messed up here.
Do you know what happened to Antonio Rudiger and Andreas Christensen left Chelsea the year that the ownership took place when Roman left, and Chelsea were left with two centre-halves they had to replace, and they went on free. Well, Antonio Rudiger at that time, you're talking about £80 million centre-half. Yeah. Andreas Christensen, you got 50 for him, depending on the length of the contract. So Chelsea then had to replace £130 million, £140 million worth of centre-halves. That's where it's really, really going to hurt, I think, at some stage. talkSPORT's now chief football correspondent Alex Crook joined Goldstein and Bent on Drive earlier and updated us on Salah's contract situation.
So it does seem now there is a deal to be done between Mo Salah and Liverpool. I think they've almost got to keep these two of them. I mean, how do you even think about replacing Salah with all the goals and the assists that he's got this season, not just this season, but, for the last few years. And Van Dijk is the leader of the team, isn't he? He's a colossus at the heart of the defence. So I think they have to get these deals done, really.
That was Alex Crook, talkSPORT chief football correspondent. I'd love thoughts on this. Here's my take on this, and it's very difficult when you reach an age of the likes of Salah and a player that gets to a certain age. It's very difficult to predict what they're going to be like in 2 to 3 years' time. No one has a crystal ball. You know, if you're signing a player of 25, 26, 27, 28, there are legs still left. Salah's 33. If he wants a 3-year contract, well, he will be 33 in June. You're basically giving a player a huge contract for a 36-year-old. And we've all seen what's happened to Casemiro. It's a toughie. There is no easy solution on this one. It's a tough call because you don't know what that player's going to look like in 2 to 3 years' time. Jammer's not happy until Jammer's not happy.
Yeah, I think if you look at the type of player Casemiro, and you look at type of player Salah, you look at the physique, you look at the kind of player, the pace difference.
Yep.
Then you can really trust on Salah.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
And if you look at this is probably his best season, numbers wise.
Yep.
So, and he's been doing this since he's joined Liverpool. And if you look at how he is now, how he looks after himself, I cannot see in 4 months, 6 months, when the season kicks off again, that all of a sudden he's going to go on this crazy decline.
I'm not saying crazy decline. That's how I hear you, and I think you're right. Yeah. And I'm not saying disagree with you, but I think the Premier League this season is a poor level, and I think he's taken advantage of that. I think next season, if it's stronger and better, I think we might just have seen the best of Salah.
Well, this is his best season.
Yeah,
but to top that,
is he going to get any better?
Well, he's not going to get better because, like I said, he's reached his peak, and this probably is his best years. Will he continue on this path? Will he put these numbers up again? You bet yourself he will. Okay. He's proven that.
You're putting a contract in front of someone that's going to be worth tens of millions.
You've got to give him.
That's the world. This is the problem.
But minimum 2 years, you've got to give him.
So if you're him, what are you accepting minimum?
I'm accepting minimum 2 years.
You're not taking a year.
Liverpool wouldn't offer a year. Stupid. It's very stupid to offer Mo Salah a year.
Why?
Because if you give him a year, plays amazing.
Yeah.
He then goes Saudi for free the following year. Saudi are always going to be there. So if you give him 2 years, 1 year amazing, he's got another year. If he wants to leave, someone's got to buy him out of that contract.
What if you give him 2 years and his numbers are poor?
But if you give him a year, Saudi is still there. It doesn't matter about how poor he is.
Still going to buy him.
He could not score a goal all season. Right. Saudi will still take him. Right. Absolutely.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.